Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! The sunsets on this island every evening are incredibly gorgeous. I wish you were here to experience it with me. I've always loved sunsets, and that's why I record my videos every night around the time the sun sets every evening. Thank you guys so much for finding my thumbnail and clicking on it and watching my videos. I can't tell you how appreciative I am of it because there are hundreds of Descendants videos that are uploaded to this platform every single night. YouTube is flooded with Descendants videos since people realize the popularity of it. I'm very thankful that I fell into this niche. You're going to have to forgive me. I was a real romantic kind of guy. I've been a romantic kind of guy ever since I was a teenager. And ever since I had crushes on girls, I would try to be the romantic guy, try to understand them, things like that. And I was always the biggest Sleeping Beauty fan in the world. I was always the biggest Little Mermaid fan in the world. I was always the biggest Jasmine fan. I had the biggest crush ever on Sleeping Beauty. I thought she was one of the most underappreciated princesses of all time. And yeah, I just love watching classic Disney movies that were inspired by some of the most beautiful princesses of all time. And I think that's what led me to fall in love with this franchise. And I can't forget about how much you guys loved Descendants. You guys fell head over heels in love with the franchise, and I respect you for that. I really do. I've had my heart broken more times than enough because of relationships that I've been involved with. And I've told you stories about it time and time again. So what Disney did for me was Disney helped me heal. And it helped me heal not only from relationships, but it helped me heal from everything that I had to endure in my own life, both personally and professionally. I had very few friends when I was growing up, but I had a few good friends. And I always believed that, if you had a few good friends that you could hold on to for your entire life, then you had something very special and something to be very thankful for. I had this one really good friend. I used to tell him everything. His name was Craig. And he was into the whole Battle of the Bands thing. He was into indie rocking and things like that. But, as much as I didn't like indie rockers, one thing that he gave me was a very valuable piece of advice. And he said, just go out there and be yourself with everything you do in life. Aspire to be your best and have fun while you're doing it. And he was right. 25 years after knowing him, he was right. I don't know where he is tonight, but I want him to know that I've always remembered what he told me. And every single time that my life felt very difficult and very challenging, I knew I had each and every one of you. When girls didn't understand me, why I was so in love with Descendants and Zombies, you guys did. And you never ever quit on me. And that's something that I will never ever forget you for. It was just how supportive you were of me. And some of the very first subscribers that I still have are still here on this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for never ever leaving me and always finding time to either hit the like button or to subscribe to this YouTube channel, which I can only hope you're going to do. One of the most difficult challenges as a YouTube creator is finding a niche to fall into and then getting somebody who watches your videos to hit the subscribe button. I would love for every single person who watches these videos to hit the subscribe button, because it goes a long way in spreading my message of kindness. That's ultimately what I wanted to achieve with this YouTube channel, was to spread a message of kindness that everybody would hear. Because I think that there is never enough kindness spread in this world. Again, you're going to have to forgive me for believing that. I must sound like a broken record. Every single time you watch my videos, I say the same thing over and over again, but it's because I want to spread a message of emphatic kindness. Kindness is a thing that is very rare these days, and it's very hard to find it in somebody. It's very hard also to make somebody understand how valuable kindness is in this lifetime. It's kind of like time. I've often said that time is the most precious commodity, but so is kindness. It is of extreme rarity, and I think that the more kindness that is spread in this world and given to the people that deserve it, that are always looking for it, the more significant of an impact and more of a significant change we can relay in this world. I want to say thank you to each and every person who never ever left my side throughout this incredible journey that I've been on with this YouTube channel. I must have put about $5,000 behind this YouTube channel financially, because I believed in it so much, but not just because I believed in YouTube creation, but because I believed in each and every one of you, for your passions, for your favorite Descendants characters, Ruby Rose Turner, who I'm dearly in love with. I don't know how they're going to do Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, without Ruby after taking the concept of time travel out of it, eliminating it altogether. But that doesn't mean that we won't see time travel make its way back into Descendants. I think Ruby will find her way back into Descendants, either as Bridget or even if we have to see her as a different character. I know she's wanted to portray the character Rapunzel for all of her life, so why not give Ruby the opportunity to do that? I mean, Ruby, I'm not going to argue that Ruby is the most beautiful person that I've ever seen in my life. I'm in love with Ruby, head over heels in love. with Ruby Rose Turner, perhaps more than she's ever had a crush on Justin Bieber in her life. I want Ruby to know that I support her in whatever choices she makes in life, whatever direction she wants to take her career in, whatever career path she chooses. And I want Kylie Cantrell to know that I totally disagree with all the negativity that she's been victim since the last year. Everything from when she broke up with her boyfriend to her political point of view about Donald Trump being the President of the United States. If anything, it's inspired me to run for President of the United States in 2028, which I know the Descendants fans are going to come out in unison out of support for the Jonathan Clarke regime. Which, if it ever moves into the White House, there's going to be a lot of changes, and the Descendants cast will finally have the support, both morally and financially, that they deserve to secure the future of the franchise for at least the next 15 years. I say that because there is so much of an opportunity to create with the Descendants franchise, and off of all the inspiration that we've gotten from the cast. I mean, you can't argue the point that you felt inspired by all the Descendants characters you see yourself through the eyes of. I know you feel inspired by them, and I appreciate that. I think that's really cool. I think that is really cool. I know you're hearing that from a romantic guy that's had his heart broken many times, more than he ever wants to remember, but I think it's really cool how all of you are so supportive and you never quit on what you believe in. I mean, you could have quit on me years ago, but you never did. You've listened to me talk about Dove Cameron and how Ryan McCartan treated her. You've listened to me about Kylie Cantrell and how everybody came down so negatively on her just last year. So much so that she had to go to TikTok and she had to explain her political point of view and the reasons behind why she said what she said. Everything from her political point of view to referring to her fans as cuties and people taking offense to it. Let me just say this. I would love for Ruby Rose Turner to call me and refer to me as a cutie, as a fan who's supported her all of her life, because I have. So what's wrong with that? I mean, Kylie Cantrell had one of the most beautiful YouTube shows in the world. I can only wish to have just as beautiful as YouTube show as what Kylie Cantrell had with 500,000 views in less than 1 year. All she ever did was review shows like Sam and Cat, which I was a huge fan of. I used to lie awake every morning at 2 a.m. and watch Sam and Cat repeats. And then 2 a.m. in the morning, I heard some syndicated podcast talking about how Sam and Cat had canceled because Ariana Grande and Jeanette McCurdy couldn't get along. And I was heartbroken over it because the show only got 35 episodes. And then she was a huge fan of iCarly, Victorious. I mean, who wasn't a huge fan of Victorious? That was one of the greatest kids shows of all time. I thought Kylie Cantrell had one of the coolest YouTube channels of all time. A channel that I felt inspired by. Now, I was creating YouTube ever before Kylie Cantrell's YouTube channel premiered. YouTube premiered in 2005. That was over 20 years ago. April 15th, 2005. The first YouTube video was uploaded on YouTube.com. I know because I was there. I saw it, and the things you could do on YouTube back then were severely limited. Who can remember uploading a video on YouTube that could only be the maximum of 10 minutes long? I mean, I have so much to say where everything goes. I can't upload a video in just 10 minutes. But that's what you had to do. So what you had to do consequently was probably upload 10 parts of a commentary that you had to upload. You couldn't go live on it. You couldn't do anything with it. And now 20 years later, the enhancements of YouTube have greatly improved. You can do 4K videos now if you have a Logitech Brio camera like yours truly has. You can do it with lights like I have. You can do it with stuffies like I have, an incredible YouTube set. I love it. And I love creating videos for each and every one of you. But, you know, Kylie Cantrell's YouTube show definitely came off as an inspiration to so many people, because there are people out there now aspiring to become just as good of a dancer as what Kylie Cantrell is, or just as good of an actress. And I don't see anything wrong with that. One of the best pieces of advice I ever gave people, being a theater kid for all of my life, was just go out there and be yourself. If the audience loves you, the audience are going to let you know about it. If the audience hates you, they're also going to let you know about it. You know, more times than enough, I would go out and perform, and I would be feeling very let down because the audience didn't accept who I was. I just portrayed a character I was given the opportunity to portray, and if they loved me, they loved me. If they hated me, they didn't. And I saw more than enough people go out and crash and burn. I remember one specific year at the Drama Festival, this one guy felt very confident in his ability. And literally 10 minutes before he went on stage, I had this conversation with him, and I said, are you feeling the pressure? Do you feel like you're confident enough to go out there? Or do you feel as if you're going to crack under pressure? I really didn't have it. You know, I never said anything throughout all the rehearsals that he did until the night of his performance. And he went in the bathroom 5 minutes before the show went live, and he threw up his guts. He went out and performed, but he didn't do it as good as what he thought he was going to do. So he definitely cracked under pressure. That's why I feel very respectful of people like Kylie Cantrell, because Kylie Cantrell goes out there and gives it 110% every single time. I've always felt very inspired by that of a Kylie Cantrell, and I will forever be in love with Ruby Rose Turner. Let me tell you something. I'm going to die being in love with Ruby Rose Turner, because Ruby Rose Turner's message of kindness has definitely inspired me to be a better person. Oftentimes, I went to school with a lot of guys who were real idiots, real assholes. I probably went to school with the worst group of people that anyone could ever have the opportunity to have went through high school with, and my whole high school experience was very dreadful. I was a loser. I was a real geek. I was a video gamer. I was a guy who had a crush on a girl that a girl didn't want anything to do with, but I never gave up on my hopes and dreams of being with girls in high school. I had so many crushes that I can't even begin to tell you how many crushes I had. But ultimately, my celebrity crushes became far more severe than the crushes that I had in any girls that I went to high school with. My prom came, I had no date, and I look at these graphics that people make of Ruby Rose Turner, referring to her as the prom queen. I would have loved to have went to my prom with Ruby Rose Turner, because that would have been the greatest night of my life. I would have loved to have went to my prom with Clarke and because that would have been the greatest night of my life. I am an advocate for women's rights. So anytime I see somebody like Kylie Contrail being treated like shit, or Ruby Rose Turner being critically reviewed, it really upsets me. And I want to go crazy because they don't deserve that. I will forever advocate for each and every one of you, saying that you deserve to hear better about your favorite Descendant stars. I'll say this again tomorrow night on my podcast. I would love for this YouTube channel to have 1,000 subscribers overnight. I would love for this YouTube channel to have 1 million subscribers, because you guys deserve to hear better, and that's what I wanted to give you about Descendants and Zombies. You know, every night you're watching YouTube, and you're seeing hundreds of videos, if not thousands of videos, uploaded on the platform that really make no sense. So I try to make videos that are very different from the videos that you see. How many people go out and fill the room up with a bunch of stuffies and reciprocal lights and make all these great videos for you like I do? Not very many people go out of their way to do it, because they don't appreciate Descendants or the stars of it like I do for each and every one of you. So when I hear somebody spending up to 45 minutes on their podcast talking about Descendants and Zombies in such a negative way, I lose it. I don't record it and lose it. I lose it off of camera, and then I come on here and I tell it to you in a very nice way. I remember when the Zombies cast was receiving so much criticism for all the music videos they were dropping prior to the release of Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires, which is coming up in just a couple of days. I'm really excited about it. But I remember 3.5 weeks ago recording this video on YouTube, probably a little bit longer than that, talking about how everybody was criticizing the Place to Be music video and the Don't Mess With Us music video, and I said they needed to stop. Because they really did. They needed to stop. They really needed to take a chance on this and see where we would go with it. But nobody wanted to do that. I was the only one that ever said anything nice about the music videos for the Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampire soundtrack. You know, I love to have fun on these videos. I love to say that I want to be a vampire slayer. I've been saying that for forever. I would have loved to have been a part of the Zombies cast. Hopefully by Zombies 5 we can work something out. Because the future of the Zombies cast has been secured. I believe the future of the Descendants cast has been secured. So my chances of being a prince or a knight in shining armor for Descendants, or Hercules the Sun, is still up in the air. I say that because I love to create. You don't know how great of an opportunity it is to actually create theater productions until you get involved with it. The thrill that you get from creating and the experience is a whole different experience from anything else that anyone could ever endure in their lifetime. And I had a whole lot of fun because I could be characters, and not just be characters that I always wanted to portray in my lifetime, but I could also create characters, and I could feel people being inspired from what I could create. You know, in the wrestling industry where I worked for a number of years, I worked for the better part of 25 years. One of the greatest thrills that I ever got in my life was creating all these characters that you see on TV. There is something called character psychology, which is something that is very difficult to master. But the writing process and development of a character is just incredibly beautiful and somewhat thrilling, and you feel really accomplished through doing it. So I know that the stars of Descendants feel accomplished in their own right, and they have every right to feel that way. And I don't ever want to take that away from anyone who was ever part of the Descendants franchise, past or present. It really brings me down when I hear about how people like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson want to close the book on Descendants because of the death of Cameron Boyce. I want to say this. I have all the respect in the world for Cameron Boyce and his family and the Cameron Boyce Foundation, but I think we're using his name a little bit too much as an excuse to have told the story and completed it. There is no way you can tell a story and complete it in 90 minutes. I don't care who you are. A script is very detailed, yes, in 90 minutes, but there is so much more further of a distance we can go with Descendants, and I'm really excited to see where we go from here. We could have Descendants, the animated series. One movie called The Royal Wedding is not enough. If you can turn zombies into an animated series, you can turn Descendants into an animated series and get away with it. I don't know why they don't do it and just call it Ordon, or make it a live-action TV series with your favorite Descendant stars in it. That's an opportunity to bring Ruby Rose Turner back into the franchise as a whole right there. Or you can bring her in as the character Rapunzel, have her be Rapunzel's daughter, and see how much fun we can create with that. Come to think of it, let me be the director of Descendants. Give me the opportunity to create off of what has already been created and see what I do with it. I would go beyond the requirements of any producer or director that you have ever seen past or present for Descendants, and that means Kenny Ortega, Jennifer Fang. I would do amazing work with Descendants that would blow your mind. I'm kind of envious of the guys that are involved in the monologue, or the girls that are involved in the opening monologues for Descendants, because I love saying that one shouldn't expect to mess with the fabric of time and not expect consequences. You didn't think this was the end of the story now, did you? I really have a whole lot of fun with that. And I have a whole lot of fun creating these videos for you. I love creating Descendants and Zombies content for you, perhaps more than any other YouTube creator out there. I've always wanted to instill in your minds that happily ever after and forever does exist. And I try to do it every night that sun sets over that hill there. Because I want you to know that no matter how many times you are told that happily ever after does not exist, and forever doesn't exist, and you won't find the girl or the man of your dreams, you definitely will. They are just waiting, he or she is just waiting out there for you to find them, and you just have to seize every opportunity that you're given. I want you to know that every dream that you have will eventually come true, even though it seems impossible for you to achieve that dream and it coming true. It definitely will. I've read every fairy tale that there has ever to have been read, and I've studied every fairy tale that there is to have been read. I have never believed in taking away the possibility of forever existing and happily ever after being a reality for anybody away from them. But that's the thing that separates my YouTube channel and my YouTube content from every other YouTube creator out there, because they're going to tell you that forever doesn't exist. Happily ever after is not a reality, and you won't find the love of your life, but you will. Trust in me and I will never let you down. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and I will always be here every night to support you in whatever dream that you have. And I really don't care what that dream is. If you want to sign up for the gym and you want to work out, then do it. If you want to be a dancer, then sign up for a dance team and do it. If you want to be a part of the cheerleading squad, do it. The only thing I've ever wanted from this YouTube channel and what I've created for each and every one of you is for you to realize your dreams and for you to realize that you are stronger people than you've ever thought possible. Because as far as I'm concerned, the Descendants Zombies franchise as a whole is the strongest force in the entire world, and I don't want anyone to ever take that away from you. I know you see 500 or 600 videos uploaded about Descendants and Zombies every single night on the platform, and how many of those videos criticize Kylie Contrell? More than enough. It really upsets me. It really breaks my heart, and it's not because I'm in love with Kylie Contrell, it's just because I believe she deserves better. I am forever going to be in love with Ruby. I will forever support Ruby. Every single night the bell rings, I will come out of that corner swinging as hard as I can in support of Ruby Rose Turner. And I hope you join me in this incredible journey that this YouTube channel has been on. At 13 years old, I recorded my first podcast. I didn't know if I was going to sink or swim, if I was going to crash or burn. I didn't even know if I was going to have a single fan or supporter out there. I would upload videos and commentaries for years. Nobody ever watched them, I don't think. And now I sit here 25 years later after an incredible career has been put behind me, thinking my career was over 7.5 years ago, and people said that I had a lot more to say where this goes. And after months of persuasion and phone calls, I'm back. And I have each and every one of you to thank for that. I have this amazing YouTube channel, and I have the most incredible and most supportive fans in the world who are diehard. You guys are diehard. And if there was one niche that I could fall in love with and fall into over again, it would have to be this one. And I wouldn't think twice about it. If I had to record 500 videos all over again, I would do it for each and every one of you, because you are some of the strongest people that I have ever known in my entire life and I've ever had the privilege of recording content for. You are undeniably the best fans in the world. That a dream for any YouTube creator to have the honor and the privilege to be able to sit behind his podcast microphone and tell you about how much he loves Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner as much as what each and every one of you do, and how much you see yourself through the eyes of your favorite Descendants stars. Every year at Halloween, I have a couple of girls who show up at my door dressed up as their favorite Descendants characters, and I love that. Because I feel as if they're inspired by their characters that they love so much, and I don't ever want to take that away from anybody. If you want to dress up as your favorite Descendant stars until you're 17 years old, then go for it. Or older. I've been the biggest fan in the world of this. And I'm not going to lie to you, I fell in love with the Descendants franchise probably quicker than all of you, perhaps quicker than anybody else out there. And I've even had relationships end because of my infatuation with Descendants. And that's not a word of a lie. That's how much I've sacrificed for each and every one of you. I specifically asked for a home, for a house from the real estate agent that was actually 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant side by side that could explode. I love it that much. My dream job actually would have been to be a director for the Descendants franchise because of just how beautiful it is. Having it be an action-adventure musical was a huge plus because I've produced every musical there is to have produced as a stage production or had a hand in it. I've even had a hand in a couple of ballet recitals years ago, but you haven't got to tell anybody that. We can keep our secrets to ourselves. And I may have fallen down through the stage a couple of times, and I may have, broke my arm for Dove Cameron on my way home to catch the latest episode of Liv and Maddie, but Liv and Maddie was a great TV series. I will forever die a supporter, and perhaps in love, with the Kylie Cantrells and the Dove Camerons of the world. So I have this to say to any critic out there who may be criticizing your favorite stars. Criticize them if you wish. But on this YouTube channel, if you want to hear something nice about your favorite Descendants or zombie stars, you have come to the right place. And I am forever thankful for each and every one of you putting the pieces of my broken heart back together time and time again through the stories that I share with you, through our passion that brought us all together, Descendants and zombies. I could come on here and tell you that I'm the happiest guy in the world. I am, because of when I love to see girls accomplishing their dreams, aspiring to achieve something and accomplishing it. I love that. I love when people are happy. But I have a broken heart, and each and every one of you have helped put the pieces of that broken heart back together. Every single time that I felt lost or as if I had nobody, I had each and every one of you, and through Ruby Rose Turner's message of kindness, that's why I wish Ruby was here every night, to help me bake pies and muffins and cakes, and help me put together game chairs and play video games with me. Because she has been a huge inspiration to me, and if anything, she has inspired me to be a better person in life and to spread more kindness than I've ever spread in my entire life. Years ago, before my dad passed away, he said that one of these days I was going to be the greatest podcaster of all time. I never knew it until one day he looked at one of his friends and said, "My son is going to be the greatest podcaster of all time because he's going to inspire millions of people to become better in their own lives, and they're going to become stronger because of what he says." My dad believed that I was going to become the greatest podcaster of all time and go down in history for being a legend. I never believed it until I heard him say it to one of his friends' faces one day. And I like to believe that I'm honoring his legacy, both of my parents' legacies, as they watch this show every single night from wherever they are up there. I like to believe that I have touched your hearts in so many ways, and we have a friendship. And what I mean by a friendship is we have a mutual understanding. You love Descendants and Zombies, and as the creator of this YouTube channel, it is my responsibility to create great videos for each and every one of you. I don't know what time of the day they'll be uploaded, but every day you'll get a video here. Last year, I had to go away in October. I was gone for 4 or 5 months. And I came back with something over 500 subscribers, having accumulated on this YouTube channel. And now I sit here tonight with almost 3,000. Sometimes I get stuck with subscribers, and it's days before somebody hits the subscribe button. But can you imagine what would happen if every single person hit the subscribe button? I would have thousands of subscribers in one night. I would love to see that. I would love for the Descendants cast to come live with me. We could shoot Descendants here in Newfoundland because this island reminds me of Ordon. I actually live on an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean that is surrounded by sharks and whales, everything that could kill you. And there are only 2 ways off of this island, like either by boat that could sink, plane that could crash, or car that could crash. So no option is either good, but the scenery here is quite lovely. And every night when that sun sets, it is absolutely beautiful. The landscape is really breathtaking. I know Mila Baker is from Canada, so perhaps we can work something out. And I know her friendship with Kylie Cantrell has been heavily profiled, which is kind of amazing. I actually saw a very powerful video of Kylie Cantrell on her Facebook fan page that I love. I love a girl when she has faith in whatever she does, and she represents that with a cross. So, because I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, I want you to know that I appreciate somebody for their belief in faith and whatever they want to aspire to be in life. And because I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, I love when I see a girl representing her own fate with a cross. And I saw Kylie wearing this beautiful cross the other day on one of the videos she had thrown up, and I knew that girl was going places that she didn't even know she was going. And I said to myself, she's an inspiration, and she doesn't even know she's an inspiration. She hears it. It's one thing to hear it, but to actually realize that you're an inspiration, and when it hits you in the face, it's the most rewarding feeling in the entire world. I have been an advocate for women for forever, and I've somewhat favored them because I believe that they are the victim of a lot of criticism that they don't need to be victim of. Kylie's been a victim of a lot of criticism for her point of view on Donald Trump, and I've said time and time again that if I have to run for president of the United States, I will. I don't care if I have to go to the U.S. and get my citizenship. If anything, Kylie has inspired me to make videos from the White House every single night or address the nation every night in this room and after 8 p.m. on YouTube. I have no problem doing that. The Trump administration can move out, and the Jonathan Clarke administration can move in. You guys are fantastic. You're absolutely fantastic, and I don't know where I'd be without each and every one of you. At 13 years old, I could only hope that someone was going to hear my voice and my message of kindness. I used to talk about a lot of different niches, and I fell into a lot of different niches over the years, but this niche steals my heart every single time and never ceases to amaze me. And I mean that. From my heart to yours, thank you so much. From one heart to another for just being here and being yourself. That's the best piece of advice that I can give anybody. Just, live your life and be yourself and accomplish every dream that you ever set out to achieve. Because there are a lot of people out there that are going to tell you that you can't achieve your dreams, but you really can. All you have to do is remain focused on that. It could be to be a painter. It could be to be a singer, because some people out there write the most beautiful music that I've ever heard in my life. This music from Descendants, this score, the latest score for The Rise of Red was beautiful. I can only imagine how beautiful the music's going to be for Wicked Wonderland by the time we get to Descendants 5. Music heals me. That's why when I love seeing people write music. I love seeing people collaborate music, and the collaborations for the Rise of Red soundtrack in particular was just absolutely beautiful. And then by Descendants 2, incredible songs like Ways to Be Wicked, Chillin' Like a Villain really took it home for me. But the score for the Rise of Red was absolutely beautiful. Life is Sweeter When You Are has been a bubblegum song that has been stuck in my head for what feels like forever, and it really is an illustration of how far kindness can go and take a person in this lifetime. I only wish that more people were more kind than some people. Some people outdo others with kindness, but I think that it's virtually impossible for everybody to be kind, but you don't really realize it how far just the smallest amount of kindness can really take a person. I say this because I believe there's not enough kindness in this world, and that's what makes the world revolve. And I say this because girls are the only thing that's really ever made sense, or at least to me, in this lifetime, because they help a guy make sense of everything he may be going through in this lifetime. They help you put everything into perspective. And it's just a crying shame that I feel like I'm crying out to guys to treat girls with more respect than what they do, because I will forever say that on this YouTube channel, because guys can be real idiots sometimes, and I feel very ashamed to be a guy because I feel really disrespected by my own gender, and I should say let down by my own gender by how they treat girls. It is absolutely ridiculous, and I think it's completely uncalled for, because a girl wants something more out of life than what he does. I saw that with Ryan McCartan just 7.5 years ago. It broke my heart watching the videos, how people were criticizing it, how Dove Cameron felt like she couldn't be herself, and the same thing with Thomas Doherty from 2016 to 2020. Really broke my heart, and I've got a lot of videos and a lot to say where that goes coming up on this YouTube channel. But yeah, Descendants, if anything, Descendants healed me, and it was my light out of the darkness. You guys became my light out of the darkness. I lost both my parents at a very young age, and felt like I didn't have a whole lot of friends, but you guys helped me make sense of everything. There was never a girl in my life that I could keep, but at least I knew at the end of every day when I recorded this podcast, I had each and every one of you because you guys listened to me, and you respected me, and I have the same amount of respect for each and every one of you. It is absolutely incredible, the messages of Descendants, how they have made us so much stronger people, given us a better outlook on life, and changed our whole perspective on our dreams and our accomplishments. It is amazing. And Zombies does the same thing too, encouraging us to stand up to our bullies. Ruby Rose Turner did a great job portraying the young Queen of Hearts, and how she was bullied and became the villain she ultimately became, and the most annoying Disney villain of all time. But she did a fabulous job. I want to say thank you to Ruby Rose Turner, and that you will be missed in the Descendants franchise. But I believe that we haven't seen the last of Ruby Rose Turner. I just hope that she doesn't have a crush on Justin Bieber like she had when she was 10 years old, because the only thing he's going to do, as I've said many times, is take her to Best Buy when he finds out she doesn't have a TV. Perhaps buy her the most expensive one that is in Best Buy at the time, whatever Best Buy they go to, like he did for Hailey Bieber years ago, after he found out she didn't have a TV and bought her one, set it up for her. I want Ruby to know I've got a TV more than one she can have. It's high definition, and I've got more than one poster on my wall for Kylie Control's friend. I've got 4. And a Dumbo hanging over my head every night. Yeah, so I kind of can one-up him. Life sometimes can be very cruel, but it's people like each and every one of you that help us make sense of our mistakes, help us make sense of everything that's going on in our life, and we can just put it a little bit more into perspective because of each and every one of you. I don't care what anybody says, but you guys are some of the best fans that a podcaster could ever have. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your life, and for as long as you have. Because I know there are a lot of podcasts out that you could be watching, but certainly life is sweeter when you are. And I think that's the most powerful song. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think that Life is Sweeter When You Are is the most powerful song that has ever been brought forth for a Descendant score. And I will forever be indebted to that song. It's a song that's been stuck in my head for forever. And I am forever thankful for each and every one of you, honestly, because more times than enough when I felt as if I had nobody who ever wanted to listen to me, I had each and every one of you. I had a girl that was considered to be my best friend. About a month and a half ago, we broke off contact because of obvious reasons we can't be together. But I wanted to know that she will forever hold a special place in my heart. And while I don't have her, I've got each and every one of you. And I thank you so much from one heart to another. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life. So I've got this Ruby Rose Turner interview where she actually talks about some of her favorite Disney characters, such as Captain Hook. I remember watching Peter Pan actually for the first time when I was 7.5 years old, and that wasn't yesterday. I believe it was at a birthday party the first time I saw Peter Pan, the animated classic. And hearing Ruby Rose Turner talk about some of her favorite Disney villains and heroes is just an amazing opportunity. It's incredible. I think she would be a beautiful Rapunzel, and I've got a lot to say where that goes. Ruby will forever hold a special place in my heart, just as each and every one of you are. If you have not hit the subscribe button, you're going to want to do that as we watch this video together.
First quote.
You've heard of the golden rule, haven't you? Whoever has the gold makes the rules.
Wait. Does anyone know this?
No.
Is golden rule like a clue?
Maybe.
Like
Ruby Rose?
gold?
Yes. Is it Captain Hook?
It is not Captain Hook.
No.
Emperor's New Groove?
It is not.
Joshua?
Is it Jafar?
It is Jafar!
Thank you.
If you couldn't get it from that first quote, I did have a bonus quote, which was, I can make you rich enough to impress a princess.
Whoa. Didn't even need it.
And your answer is...
Wow, look at me go, look at me go.
Do you guys have a favorite song from Aladdin?
All together now.
A new world. Yes. A new fantastic point of view.
Hey.
Oh my God.
To
tell us no. Or where to go.
What?
Or say we're only dreaming. Oh my gosh, I have tears.
Man, Ruby is incredibly beautiful. Is she ever beautiful? I love her dearly, and I want her to know that the support is here for her if she ever wants it, and the same thing can be said about Kylie Control, because I know they've received their fair share of criticism, and I've always believed enough is enough, and we have to draw a line when it comes to criticism, and that's one of the reasons why this podcast is here. It is here for each and every one of you who have ever believed in the Descendants and Zombies and made it your favorite franchises in the entire world that you have never quit on. And that is to be commended. That is to be honored. And I want you to know that every dream that you have is achievable, no matter what anybody tells you. There are a lot of people in your life that are going to try to bring you down because of insecurities they are dealing with in their own life. So they do it to you to make themselves feel better. I've encountered it and seen it more times than enough with my own two eyes. But if you want to believe in the Descendants of Zombies as much as what you have, there is nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to do my best. I give you my word. I'm going to honor each and every one of you. If I have 1,000 girls subscribed to this YouTube channel, I will do my best to keep Descendants of Zombies as a franchise alive for you for forever. So long after I'm dead and gone, these franchises will live on through me and my voice. Because it's obviously apparent you guys have made me the voice of Descendants of Zombies for the better part of the last 10 years, and thank you so much. That is more than you're ever going to hear from any other YouTube creator out there. I believe in you so much, and I will never ever quit on each and every one of you for how much you believed in me and how much you have held on to me for forever. You have held on to my hand for forever on this incredible journey that I've been on, because more times than enough when I thought I was done and I had nothing left to offer, you guys brought me back every single time. Thank you so much for having made me the voice of Descendants of Zombies for all your life, and making me a part of your lives as a family, or as you and your friends for what feels like forever. It's been an honor and a privilege, and there is honestly no other place in the world I would rather be than having the opportunity to sit behind this podcast microphone every single night and critique Descendants of Zombies in a way that I believe it deserves to be critiqued, because oftentimes some of these videos really make no sense on the YouTube platform. But if a child wants to believe that happily ever after does exist and fairy tales are a reality or can become a reality, I don't see anything wrong with that. And to every girl out there who is being treated horrible in a relationship, remove yourself from it. You can do a whole lot better than probably the way the guy is treating you, because you love him so much. That's the best piece of advice that I can give you. I know you're going to stick with them and try to, work it out, but sometimes you've got to take yourself out of the situation and know when to quit, because ultimately you deserve better in life. That's one very valuable lesson that my parents taught me at a very young age, and now I'm relaying their messages of kindness to each and every one of you. On this beautiful night, these sunsets are absolutely gorgeous. This island reminds me of Oregon, and that's probably why I wanted to come back home. I was away for 15 months from this island when I was 19 and a half years old. And I left this island, and it broke my heart. And you don't know how much of a profound effect not being able to see the beautiful ocean and the sunsets on this island over the hill every night. You don't know what kind of profound effect it can have on you until you can't see it anymore. So I remember the first time I came back after a year being away, and I broke down in tears because I could finally see the sunset over the water again. And, sometimes we have so many blessings in our lives that sometimes we take for granted, but at least I know I have each and every one of you here to help me put everything into perspective and help me make sense of my life. So thank you so much for that. When everybody else quit on me and I felt like I had nobody, I had the Descendants of Zombies fans, who are the most incredible fans in the entire world, that got me through everything. And from my heart to yours, thank you so much for that. With that being said, this is the perfect opportunity and perfect time to spread some kindness to somebody who needs it. So what do you say we do that right now and take ourselves up on the opportunity, the chance to spread some kindness, because never enough kindness is seen in this world, and the words "I love you" are never heard enough. So let's make a difference and make a significant impact and leave a forever imprint on somebody's heart who needs just that little bit of extra kindness in their life tonight. It may not be me, but it could be somebody that you know who you want to tell them that you love. So IM them or call them on your phone and tell them you just wanted to tell them that you love them so much, and you wanted them to hear it from you, because kindness in this world for sure goes a long way. Until we do this again tomorrow night, bye YouTube. We will talk again really soon.